In this video, I'll be nesting our toolbox components onto the material to be cut using a third-party add-in called Nestor, plus the Move tool. So we'll come up and select the add-ins icon, add-ins tab, then the Nestor add-in. Go ahead and run it. Come back and select the Nestor app. Now the first component to input is the material to be cut, or the face of the material to be cut. And then we'll select the faces of the materials to be, or the components to be nested. So I've noticed that it will nest the components in the order they're selected. And for what we're doing a simple two-dimensional cut. There's no additional pockets or slots. So the face that we select is not very crucial. Next, we need to input the direction of nest. So we'll take this long edge. And we'll be using a 1/4-inch router bit to cut out these parts. So I'll give it a spacing of 0.35, and that should be sufficient. So the Nestor app, it flattens all of our material, all of our components into the material. So if we look at it from the side, the components are embedded into the material. Now we no longer need sketches, so we can turn that off. I notice a slight flaw with the Nestor app. If I go and capture the position now, it brings everything to the center of the material. I can Control Z to bring that back. And I need to make a move function to capture all of these parts. So I'm going to use M on the keyboard. I'll select all the parts. I'm going to use a point-to-point move. I'm going to move it from this upper corner to the upper corner of the material. Now I also need to move my material or my components a little bit away from the edge. So I'll come back to the move type and select free move and drag it in this direction. And I'm going to come off the edge 1/4 of an inch. And I'll do the same for this next edge, 1/4 of an inch. Okay. So now I'm going to continue moving these parts to where I think they kind of best fit in the scheme of this cut. So I'm going to try and contain everything within this section here. I no longer really need to see the material because I know the spacing I'm going to use. So I'll select M on the keyboard again for move. I'll use this point-to-point move again. So I'll move it from that corner to that corner. I go back to the free move, and I want to move it away minus 0.35. And I'm just sort of moving it where I think the parts will fit the best. It is ideal to double check the material that you're going to be cutting to make sure that it's going to fit within this range that you're nesting the parts into. Go ahead and move it point to point. And free move, keep the gap of minus 0.35. So that one, it moved in the wrong direction. I can Control Z, or I can just move it 0.7. And then lastly, I'll move these two into position. point to point, free move, 0.35. The last thing we'll do is we'll capture this position. If we don't capture the position and we accidentally hit revert back, it will unnest everything. And we can show the material. So we have a nice 1/4 inch gap around the material. It'll give us room to locate this on the spoil board on the CNC machine. And we have a nice spacing between parts that's not too far that we're wasting a bunch of material. It's not too close to where we're on top of, parts are on top of each other and the bit is cutting both parts. So this is a good point to save. And we can save this as nested parts. The next video, we'll look at applying the toolpath.